That was great. He got to the ball very quickly on that, and fortunately we got it. He did a great job. He made 2 huge floaters. Those are 2 tough shots. We talked earlier in the week about he's got such a diverse game that the more floaters that he can shoot and hit, the better. He just shot them in. He made 2 huge shots. Guys made shots. I mean, we were 9 for 27 at the end of the first quarter, and we were down 12, and then we hit 60% of our shots the rest of the way, and that's why we won the game.
So the Heat were blitzing you in the corner a lot, and you were slipping passes through them. Were you trying to bait them back so you could get more space for the guys underneath, or was it just a matter of reacting to how they were blitzing you?
Just reacting. I try not to predetermine anything I do on the court. Take what the defense gives me, and tonight, they were blitzing a little bit. I told the bigs to slip a lot more picks tonight and be ready to catch the ball.
Celtics snap a 5-game losing streak and beat the Heat in a thriller without LeBron at least. 101-96. This is the Garden Report, Celtics blog, CLNS Radio. Let's go. Welcome to the Garden Report. With me, Evans Clinchey from Celtics Blog, Jimmy Toscano from Celtics Blog.
Hi.
I call myself Jared Weiss from CLNS Radio. Kyle George behind the camera right now. So let's talk about this game. It was such a great game, guys.
It's a good game.
I don't even care what you're muttering to each other. Rajon Rondo, 1 point shy of a triple-double. Avery Bradley
9
with
points.
9 points, yeah.
Good math. 10 minus what
you understand what triple-double is. Good job, buddy.
50 assists.
Avery Bradley with a career-high 6 3-pointers. Brandon Bass with a big third quarter. No LeBron James, which explains a lot of it. But the Celtics had their first really good all-around game in a while. Let's get right into it. Let's look at the end of that game. It was thrilling, and Rajon Rondo was Rajon Rondo to finish that game off, Jimmy.
Yes, he was playing well before that, but obviously those 2 floaters that he had. But I want to go back to before the floaters, the jump ball.
The jump ball? I was going to say the same thing.
That was sick. Oh. That was just sick. He had himself lined up perfectly. I remember he was fidgeting. He was fiddling with some footwork. He was making sure his hand was in the right spot. He just jumped at the perfect time and just flat out beat Haslam at the jump ball.
Yeah, how tall is Rondo? 6'1", and how tall is Haslam? Like 6'8", 6'9"?
He's got like.
I know Rondo's got some length and he's got fingers and he can jump.
He's a big dude.
The guy just tore his ACL and he now jumps you down his Haslam.
And then he scored on the ensuing possession. Yeah, that was one of the floaters. So I just thought it was really fun to watch. We've seen some of the crappiest endings to these games recently.
All year long.
I mean, especially, but the last 2 or 3 games, they just ended. Ugh.
Yeah.
And to finally see them put the other team away, and not just any team, the Heat, I don't care, LeBron or not, they're still a good team without LeBron. They're still much better than the Celtics without LeBron. To see them just outplay them down the stretch like that was fun to watch. And I know we can call it a bad win, which technically it is.
No such thing with this team.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
It's a win.
Right. Yeah. It's fun to watch them win once in a while. You get tired of these losses. And yeah, maybe it might mess up the chances of the ping pong balls down the stretch, but it also might not, so who cares?
Yeah, and it's fun to see that Rondo, even though he's on a rebuilding team now, he's on a title contender, he still gets up for games like this. He still loves matchups like the Heat. He still loves playing against Dwayne Wade one-on-one and outplaying him.
Right, and he won't admit it, but that's the case. I was going to ask him after the game. I was going to ask him after the game, be like, do you kind of, I know it's a win's a win, but do you kind of get up? I know he would just be like, no.
It's just how I play. It's just how I play.
I'd just be like,
but yeah, no. I mean, we've talked about national TV Rondo and all that. I mean, there's Heat Rondo too. That's a thing, and he played really, really hard tonight. Like you said, 1 point short of triple-double. That's he wants to put up games like this every time he plays a team like that.
Can we call lots of reporters Rondo? I mean, there's a pretty heavy presence in the locker room tonight.
There sure was.
He doesn't care about us.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, Brandon Bass was doing his post-game press conference, and Rondo was asking Jeff Twist ahead of the Celtics PR or director of media relations does he have to talk? When obviously everybody wants to talk to him.
Really?
Yeah, and so this was quietly happening.
I didn't see that.
It was nobody else could hear except for Baxter Holmes was the only other person from the globe. And so Baxter just went up to him and just started talking to him. And Rondo was about to sneak out of there, and then everybody caught wind. Before you know it, everyone was jumping all over.
I was like this, and then I was like, and over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they were both right in front of the doorway, so you couldn't get anywhere. Like just these 2 guys blocking the entire hallway. It was a pain.
Well, Bass was worthy of the media crowd tonight too. He had a good game.
So you wanted to talk about Brandon? Well, you have to now.
I think we should talk about him. He had a great game. I mean, this is a guy that Brad Stevens says after the game. texted, they were texting back and forth. He said that Bass was, feeling a little, I don't know, down and out, frustrated with his game. Clearly he was losing minutes to guys like Humphries and Olynyk, and I mean, he really was. I mean, Hump has been playing great, and I think a lot of people have been. I mean, if you're trying to weigh the two, I think the season started with Bass up here, and slowly Humphries is kind of, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's kind of, fans are sort of, I think people are leaning towards Humphries now, but Bass is a good game today. I mean, the offense that he gave the Celtics in the second half, and not only that, but the defense that he played down the stretch, especially that one position on Dwayne Wade. I mean, that was huge. I mean, he forced all Wade wanted to do was shoot the ball and get this game closer, and Bass just would not let him. You see it right in front of him the whole time, and Wade had to force the pass to, I think it was Chalmers, who missed the three-pointer. So that was a great defensive play by Bass there. Yeah,
it's an interesting question for fans. Like, how invested are they in seeing Brandon Bass develop? I mean, like. Right. He's not Kelly Olynyk, who's obviously a rookie that you're building around. He's not Chris Humphries, who's obviously expiring contract. He's in between. He's like kind of part of your future, kind of not. He might get traded in May. He might not.
He was going to get traded.
Yeah, it sounded like he was going to leave back in December, and he didn't. And now he's kind of around for the future, but kind of might get traded. We don't really know. Right. And like, if you're a Celtics fan who's like, we're tanking for the draft, we're building toward next year. It's like, do you want Brandon Bass as part of your cornerstone of your franchise or not? Like, it's kind of hard to say.
Right. I mean, I don't think Bass is. Sorry to cut you off. I don't think he's the cornerstone type of guy or anything like that. But I just think he's a guy that fans may have. He's a good player he's a good player who could help a team win. But the Celtics aren't that team because they're not good enough for him to help them win. Does that make sense?
I mean,
that's why everyone thought he was going to get traded. I don't think he was going to get traded because he's bad. I thought he was going to get traded because he could help a contender go to that next level. I mean, in games like tonight, is exactly why.
Yeah, but he's obviously a valuable producer at his salary.
Yeah.
Makes sense for any other team in the league, especially next year when he becomes an expiring contract. Right. It's probably when he's going to get moved. But while the Celtics still have him,
freaking draft day. Sorry. I couldn't say it.
He's still a valuable defender. He's become more versatile over the last couple of years because he's had to start guarding guys like Melo, exactly, LeBron.
Terribly.
Dwayne Wade
getting
tonight.
Outplayed every time.
Better than some, but go on.
But the thing was, at the end of this game, the Celtics they got killed in the paint tonight. It was 50-20 in the paint, which is a absolutely ridiculous differential.
Definitely not great.
But at the end of the game, they were able to hold steady in the paint and force a couple bad threes. Or weren't really even bad threes, but the Heat still missed those shots. That's how they ended up winning the game.
Yeah, no, you're right.
That's it. That's why I'm the host. It ends with me.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah. Okay, so very quickly, Rajon Rondo almost has a triple-double. We didn't really get to talk much about the passing, about the rebounding. We just talked about it right at the end there. I mean, he did everything tonight.
Yeah, he had this token fancy Rondo passes. A few of them. I think one of them that was really nice. I forget who it was too, but I don't think even registered as an assist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was another one. The one
that's the opposite of what usually happens.
No.
Yeah, but I think it happened maybe too early on in the play or whatever. But it ended up in points, but it wasn't an assist. But anyways, I know he gets frustrated with his shots not falling, but there are really a lot of aspects to his game that do look like the old Rondo, and I think his passing, and when he gets those nifty little shifty moves of his, that to me looks like Rondo to 90% Rondo.
I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think his shot's falling just as much as it ever did.
I mean, probably, but I probably want to see it fall more than that, I guess.
I mean, I think knowing what we've known about Rondo over the years, like his shooting is not underperforming at all. I mean, that's not really.
But I think he's holding himself to a higher standard.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to do that because he's Rondo. But I think if there's one thing he needs to improve, it's just kind of getting in sync with his teammates. Like, he still has plays where he'll throw a pass too hard because his teammate's not expecting it in that way.
Right.
And he just needs to kind of give them the ball in the way they like it, and he needs to kind of learn their tendencies. But he's developing that as the season goes on, and he's getting better. So I think he's right where he wants to be.
I mean, a lot of the issues have been trying to rifle passes in the corner to Chris Johnson.
Yeah,
it's like he's working with guys that haven't really played in the league. Chris Johnson's been in the league for a few months. Or haven't
played with a guy like him.
Exactly.
Yeah. But Jordan Crawford wasn't passing like that, so
But tonight, and just because we're going to end with this clip, and because I asked the question, so I got to plug my own self.
Definitely, bro.
You got to do that.
So
what do we got?
I was impressed with the synergy that they were showing, where Sol and Bellinger was slipping under those picks in the side pick and rolls. I know I'm boring you guys, but maybe someone else out there cares. And Rondo was just slipping that pocket pass through the trap every single time. And that was kind of one of the first instances we've seen in the last few weeks where Rondo is kind of running plays and they're really kind of coordinated and they actually understand what their role is, rather than Rondo kind of attacking the rim and tossing it out to whoever he could find, or just getting like a backdoor cut like with that Green play.
It's practice, right? I mean, that's all it is. It's just being out there, not just practice in practice, but practicing while you're playing. I mean, the more these guys play consistently with Rondo, I mean, he's only going to miss the second night to a back-to-back now. He's not missing anything else, and these guys are getting plenty of minutes with Rondo on the court.
Agreed.
Good enough. Part 2 coming up. Garden Report, Celtics Blog, CLNS Radio.
Rajon, you would
You
had talked about your floater not being precise. But big one.